All right, guys, back with more reactions. We're going to be looking at a Just Pearly Things clip today. It's called Russian Man Destroys Feminist on the Pay Gap. If I sound a bit sick, it's because I'm sick, so bear with me. I still had to, get on the camera and record some videos for y'all today. But with all that out the way, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while you're enjoying the content with me. Don't forget to check out Just Pearly's channel and Sarah Garvey's channel. Now let's get into it.
What industries do women out earn men in that don't have to do with health and beauty?
Yeah, exactly. Sexualized. Only the industries that sexualize the out women.
I don't think that's the women's fault. I think it's the fact that men have been in power for so long in such high positions in these roles. They find it harder to give it to women, and that's a societal issue.
No,
like
women don't want to. Women
don't
want to do it. Women don't want to do those jobs.
Do you want to work on an oil rig?
Yeah. So
on an oil rig.
Yeah. It's a high-paying job.
On an oil rig.
Yeah, high-paying job.
I personally don't want to do that.
Do you think women generally want to do it?
But there's lots of high-paying jobs that women do want to do. That's harder for them to get to.
Like I said, do you think women generally want to work on? Do you think women generally want to work in the
That's Sarah Garvey talking in the background right there.
Industries that are high-paying, high hours, high stress, and high tension? Do you think that's what the type of jobs women generally want to do?
I'm literally training to be a doctor. High money, high stress, high power, all of that.
Right, but you're not a doctor.
I wonder why women find the concept of generally or in general so hard. Ladies, if you're watching and you wanna share that in the comments, if you are like that or if you're not like that, I notice women generally have a problem accepting it when they hear the word in general. They hate the whole in general thing. I don't know, but let's get back into it.
Yeah,
but I
understand you're training to be a doctor, but there's a difference between training to be a doctor and being a doctor. And a lot of times women get to a certain age and they just see it's not worth it anymore. Like I have a cousin and his wife is a doctor and she quit that shit because she was like, screw this, I want to go be home with my children. And I think women get to a certain age, they just want to be with their kids. I don't think it's society. I don't think it's a power thing. I just think they say, screw this, I make enough money.
Yeah, that's true. I think there was the book Affluenza where they documented it, where they were looking at female lawyers and say that in terms of the law profession, women are actually better at it than men. Yeah. But the women will hit at the age around the age 30 and then just quit. Yeah. And they will try to retain these women, but they just don't want to do it no more.
Having babies and that's what they want.
I remember
this whole argument about the pay gap has been going on for so long. I just think people like this girl need to look at the world and just look at the results of the world and ask herself, really ask herself, seriously, genuinely ask herself, why is the world like this? Why are women getting paid less? Why are women going into these jobs? And it's biological reasons for it. It's historical reasons for it. You can get all the answers. Basically, if you think like I do, or Just Pearly, or Sarah Garvey, or these two men right here, you already know the reasons why. It's really just in today's current day and age, it's really just a choice thing, because women can do whatever job they want to do if they chose to do so.
There's a beauty queen in America this year, I think she was Miss America or something like that. She very beautiful. Went to the highest accolade of a law profession in America can give. I think she got to 30, was single, and she all of a sudden quit a law degree. But the reason why she stood out is because she ended up committing suicide.
Wow.
And I think she had a memoir or something like that. I'm not too sure, but it was supposedly due to the stress of trying to obtain this law degree and finally getting there and quitting, because her father was a lawyer, stepfather was a lawyer. So I'm not saying it contributed solely to
couldn't deal with the pressure.
She couldn't deal with the pressure. It contributed. I don't know if it contributes solely to her demise, but in so.
I mean, and men, I'm pretty sure you could swap out that woman for another man. Men do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? Men have high rates of suicide, and it's a lot of pressure that we have to deal with, and some men fold under it, can't cope. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. But another unfortunate thing is that they're pushing careers over families. Strong families is what'll make America great. I think that'll make America more whole. I think it'll make America more smart. People getting lessons and learning in the house, learning things from their own parents, looking up to their parents. Yeah, that's just the unfortunate thing is that they push careers over being a mother, and you get downplayed or shamed for being a mother or wanting to be a mother or cook for your man or just be a housewife than wanting to get a career. But just letting you know from a man to any woman listening, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a beautiful thing, and I think most men, especially men that want to have kids, admire that quality in a woman, to sacrifice her career to raise the kids, because somebody got to do it.
So somewhat way, it was a metrics that she was trying to reach out to. I don't think ultimately women find real happiness in these kind of jobs. I think women find happiness in family, kids, children, because when they reach a certain age, they don't want to do it no more.
Well, and we pick jobs that make less money. So like men are 23 more times more likely to die in the workplace than women. We don't talk about that inequality, but we just want the pretty positions at the top and say, oh, we want to make as much money, but we don't want to do the things to get there. Like
women, exactly. That's perfect. Because women like her they want a say, but they don't want to do the work to get there. And then even if you were there, put them there, they wouldn't be able to solve all the problems. They wouldn't be able to deal with that pressure. Women want a say, but they don't really want what comes with being a CEO or a top lawyer or a top anything. Generally.
My dad was a top 0.5% earner. He worked 70 to 80 hours a week for 30 years. I don't want to do that. Most women don't want to do that. And how would you do that and have kids and a family? It just doesn't make sense. Sorry, go ahead.
You just mentioned that you hopefully become a doctor. That'd be great for you, honestly. And when you become a doctor, the job consists of a high intensity, high pressure, a lot of hours, 70, 80 hours a week, right? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm on placement at the moment.
Okay,
so
but you will never die at work.
Actually,
because of your job.
Doctors have one of the highest suicide rates.
Yeah, you can kill yourself if you want. But
No way.
Please don't.
because you're a doctor.
Please don't.
Please don't.
We're not like condoning suicide on there.
You will not die because you're a doctor. Your patient might because of your malpractice. But on oil rig, you will die if you're not careful. Do you understand? Your mistake, patient dies. My mistake on oil rig, I die. People around me die. Every day. That's a massive difference between men's jobs and females' jobs. We tend to we love putting our lives on the line.
We do. I remember when I was installing gutters. Never saw no women out there installing gutters. Women are in construction, but just throwing it out there. Never saw any women, out there driving the trucks, installing gutters, right? But I remember when I was installing gutters, we would go to really nice houses. Just an example, there's a town in Illinois called Plainfield. We would go to Plainfield for an example. In Plainfield, they have houses 350 feet up in the air, 350 feet up high. I used to be up on 350-foot roofs with no cables or nothing supporting me. Like if I fell, I fell. It was a technique to it. You had to be really careful. But if you fell, you fell. If you die, you die. Whatever you break is what you break. You know what I'm saying? Like, dangerous jobs. Women don't want to do shit like that. Excuse me for my language, but they don't. They really don't. And they know they don't.
I'm doing some dumb, mad, mental ninja stuff. And we will do it. And we love it. We love getting battered. We love getting shot at. We love it. That's why men go to the army.
Yeah, I get him. Yeah, sure.
Call of Duty.
Most medics in the army are females. They don't have weapons. They don't want weapons. They're not allowed to have weapons in general, medics. But they don't die. Medics don't die. Soldiers die. They're most men. Honestly, I'm just letting you know that. It's like most females' jobs, females don't tend to die at work. They just don't die.
But if they're choosing to die, that's their own choice at work. If they want to do a risky job, that's their choice.
I understand.
So I don't get what the point is.
But if we don't do it,
the whole point is that men build the world. We could not function without men. Men allow us to have the jobs that we have. If men didn't do the jobs that they do, we couldn't even work at all.
Men build the world but can barely run it. Have you seen most of the countries are run by men?
That's okay.
New Zealand is one of the best run countries.
Okay.
See, and she doesn't even know what it takes to run a country. So she doesn't even know how, I'm willing to bet she doesn't even know how countries are really ran. So how can she say that countries don't have what it takes to run a country? Countries are running right now. The country she living in is running. It's running because people are working on the power grid. People are passing laws. People are working on sewage, taking out trash. It's running. It's already running. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Did you know that women
Yes,
are more likely to wage war than men? If they're in power, they are more likely to wage war.
Where's that from? Like that statistic?
You could Google it if you Google it.
But have women waged wars? Because evidently men have waged wars.
Yes, more men are in power. So
and there's a lot of wars going on.
Okay. Yeah. So
men will go to war over their woman. What are you talking about?
More men are in power and have been in power throughout all of history. And a lot of times we'll look at that and say, oh, it's because they're oppressing women. I'm sorry. People get shot when they're in power. People were assassinated. Like, a lot of people didn't want to be in that position because it came with a lot of responsibility and you had a target on your back. And when women were in that position, they were more likely to wage war. They waged war at a higher rate.
Do you know why men make better at building societies? Because you're saying that, female-led societies, because they're fathers, right? And they understand what it is to protect society. So when you go into societies, you will find the people that are in the sewers, the plumbers, the mechanics, the people that run the infrastructure of the world are men. A lot of them are fathers because they're doing this because they understand that they're building a legacy. Not only that they're building a legacy, they're building a nation for their child, at least, or maybe their wife or their woman. So when you say things like women, are better at running societies and stuff, it's just like, well, it's the men that run and build the infrastructure of societies. They always have done. Women don't want to do it.
Maybe the building the infrastructure, but think about who runs the countries. Who was running our country? Boris Johnson. Look at the state of our country. We're in a living crisis. Who was running America? Donald Trump. Look at the state of America. The Western world.
Biden.
Yeah,
it's not Trump.
No, I said who was.
It was going quite well
even
under
with
Trump.
Biden,
If we're gonna do numbers.
Yeah, even with Biden, like it's still not where the Western world should be. Do you get what I'm saying?
We have the highest. Wait. Let me just cut you. Like, we have the highest.
So her argument is that men can't run things because we don't have a utopia. Terrible argument.
Highest standard of living in all of human history ever.
We're in a living crisis.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that.
But we also have one of the highest rates of depression.
I don't necessarily think that's true. I just can't imagine during the plague that they're happier.
I'm about right now in society.
Okay, I understand, but I'm saying, like, comparatively, you're making a statement, and I'm saying it could be true, but if you ask people during the plague, are you happy right now? I just can't imagine it was.
Are you putting that down to men, the reason why people are so unhappy? Is that what you're doing? Or male leaders?
No, but I'm saying the state of the country. So let's look at our country right now. Mm-hmm. We're in a living crisis. Depression rates are going to go up. Suicide rates are going to go up. We saw this in the last recession. That was the highest rate of suicide, and you can check the statistics for this. That was like for years and years and years because we went into a recession, which was.
I mean, also, and I'm sorry to cut her little rant off, but I mean, she's saying that societies are bad because men run them. And that just goes to show you she doesn't know how societies work, because just because you're the president or the prime minister or the whatever, that doesn't mean, at least over here in the West, that doesn't mean that you run anything. I mean, it's still a bunch of people under you. You got to go through checks and balances. You got to verify this with these people. You got to cross-examine this with these people before you could even do something. So it's just because you sit in a seat doesn't mean that you call all the shots. And these men who are in charge, whatever, the presidents, the prime ministers, they have women working for them too. It's women in government, it's women in Congress, it's women in the parliament, whatever they do over there. So yeah. She's just talking, but ain't really saying much.
Led by men
went
again.
into lockdown also.
Lockdown was another reason why depression rates suddenly shot up in 2019 and 2018, right. And also suicide rates shot up. If you look at the graph, it goes down.
I've seen it.
But yeah, and all the policies that are put in place, things that are put in place, the way this country's going, the living crisis was due to men that were incompetent. I'm not saying all men. I'm saying incompetent men.
But
and I think a lot of women
just say leaders that were what'd she say? Incompetent. And like I said, just because you're the president or the prime minister doesn't mean that you call all the shots.
Run things better.
If women were more competent, why didn't they do it? If women were better at it, why aren't they in those positions? There's nothing stopping them.
Exactly. All right, this is my last thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop cutting in. But if women could have done all the things that men could do and do it better, they would be the ones in power now. History leading to the current day is all the evidence you need to debunk everything she's saying.
There is a lot of things stopping them. The whole thing is that society is stopping them.
No,
Society
no,
also
that's
doesn't
not.
want
That's-
women.
that's-
Even
that-
everyone
Are we
here
gonna-
saying women can't run things. That's not people that are going to vote for women to be president. Imagine how many people are in this room. Prime Minister,
Again, that's
president.
not true because more women vote than men. Women make up the majority of votes. There are more women on the planet than men.
In the
So-
UK, are you saying?
On the planet?
Everywhere.
No, but I'm
in
saying
the UK and the US, correct? Yes. So this like, oh, we can't run because people won't vote for us, but there's more women voting.
But
so
I'd like-
we
Sorry,
even recognize ourselves that women don't make the best leaders.
As many of you know, I was
Exactly, because y'all not even picking them. Man, that was a great discussion. I hope y'all enjoyed that as much as I did. Like I said, shout out to Pearly, shout out to Sarah. Go get him a follow, a subscribe. Check out the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door. Thanks for rocking with me. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.